Hi, my name is Saif. This is a 1995 Ferrari F512M, and you're watching Answered. In about 2014, I wanted to find a TestaRossa. I'd been thinking about getting one for a while, and specifically I was actually looking for a 512 TR, like a 92, 93. One day I was going to court in Rancho Cucamonga, and my father has an office in Upland, which isn't too far away, and said to me, hey, why don't we meet up for lunch? Which is a rare thing to do with him, so I said sure. I showed up at his office for lunch, gave him a call, and he was still maybe 2 hours away doing other work, other things. So I went to 911 Design right off the 10 freeway in Montclair. I was going to go talk with Lauren Begg and just hang out there and look at some Porsches. When I drove into the parking lot, I saw this car being washed. And I had never actually even seen a 512M before in person. And so I assumed it was something that 911 Design was working on. Went in there to say hi, asked about it, and they said, no, it's the stereo shop over theirs. So naturally I went and started to go talk to them, and turned out the car was just being consigned by them for one of their clients. I had it checked out and we struck a deal. The lady that I actually owned it, that I bought it from, she was very interesting.
Time out, subscribe for next week's video of Tommy and his 1972 Porsche 911 Carrera with a 2.5-liter twin plug engine. That video comes out next Tuesday at 10 a.m. Now back to the Ferrari.
She was in her 50s and she drove this quite a bit. She put almost 20,000 miles on it herself. She also had a 1989 Roof 911 Turbo, so it was really cool transaction getting it from her. Well, the favorite part of the experience obviously is driving it. It is kind of cool having a rare Ferrari. They made 501 total for the world, but only 75 for the US. And one of the rare things about this car is that it's got an individual plaque per number, unlike saying one of 75 for each model. Each one says number 1, number 2, number 3. This is number 9 of 75. So that's a pretty cool thing to show off if you needed to show something off about it, but I just enjoy driving it. I enjoy looking at it as well. Initially I was looking for a TR because I didn't like the look of the lights and the bumper and the wheels that a lot of people don't like on the M. And I was one of those people. However, it's grown on me to the point where I think that the older TestaRossas look more outdated just because I'm so used to looking at this and I enjoy looking at it. Having to warm it up for so long before I get to actually enjoy it.
How long does it usually take?
I give it a good 15-20 minutes, and then we'll drive it slowly for a little bit and get everything going.
Got it.
Throw out bearing. So
you have quite a few cars. How do you choose when to drive this car versus your other cars? How is it different?
That's a tough question. Sometimes it's based on the event. If I'm going to something, for example, at the Peterson Museum, if there's the Ferrari event, then obviously I'll pick a Ferrari versus one of the other cars. But also whatever's convenient or what hasn't been exercised for a little while. So I have a kind of a schedule to get the rotation in, it's tough to choose. But definitely a good weekend afternoon and a sweeping canyon road. This is one of the cars to choose. It's kind of like my kids. I got 4 boys, and my favorite one's the one that just listened to me. And with my cars, the favorite one is kind of the one I just drove. Definitely, I guess the 512M is up in there. They all have different experiences. The GT3 RS, it's a 997.1, is really cool. I love the 140. There's a 140 S600. I think they're one of the best engineered cars ever. I have an RS4 that I actually drove here today and that you saw. That's also one of my favorites. The 190, the Cosworth, is the most fun to drive hard. Drive really hard, you're still not going too fast. So yeah, they all, after you drive them, you get that experience and get that feeling. The Jag, it's got another one, so.